Even on Fox News, they are starting to point out the corruption of the Trump family. In particular, this time, Ivanka Trump and her husband, Jared Kushner. Now, this clip is crazy, not only because there's an open admission that while Daddy was president, while Donald Trump was president, they made hundreds of millions of dollars under dubious circumstances at best, but you can see the visible discomfort on the other Fox News hosts as the Trump children are actually held to account.
I really want to say this part. We cannot have this conversation and completely ignore the fact that Trump children, Ivanka and Jared, according to the Citizens for Ethics investigation, made hundreds of millions of dollars while they were serving in government posts. Ivanka got no, Jesse, don't put your hands up. She got dozens of trademarks, including three preliminary trademarks.
We gotta go.
The day she ate with Xi Jinping at Mar-a-Lago, she's
been in business for 2 decades. He just started blowing art.
Are you kidding me? If Chelsea Clinton was like, oh, I'm selling my fancy shoes in
we
China.
Gotta go.
I had dinner with Xi Jinping, and
those I want to clear this up. Those trademarks they filed for those well before he was Trump was.
And they didn't
divest. And then she got rid of her company.
You guys are not actually defending. Just admit it. That it's
I think you're deflecting from the fact that the White House is using taxpayer resources to manage Hunter Biden's career, which is absurd.
You guys want me to say that Hunter's a bad boy, and you won't even admit the fact that what they did is preposterous.
Joe Biden.
So you can see how uncomfortable that was. You can see there that, though they want to talk about Hunter Biden selling some art, Hunter Biden, who has never held a position under his father. He never worked for his father's campaign. He never worked in the White House. He never worked in his Senate office. Whereas Trump and his kids, they've always worked together at the Trump Corporation, but also in the White House and on the Trump campaign. All of his main elder children, Don Jr., Eric, Ivanka, they've all been executives at the company. They've all worked on the campaign or at the White House directly. Eric and Don Jr. did campaign stuff more. Ivanka at the White House. So they are directly connected. And everyone on Fox wants to talk about Hunter Biden, who's basically irrelevant, and they want to ignore the hundreds of millions of dollars of corruption, putting aside the tax evasion charges at the Trump Organization. We're not even talking about the fact that the Trump kids likely got luxury cars and apartments and all of those things like Alan Weitzelberg and didn't pay taxes on them. And this is such an important thing to see because Fox News did not want that to happen. They're trying to stop her. They're putting their hands up almost to silence her, and she has to be like, no, I have to say this. They're like, oh, we have to go to a break. It's really wild to see. And I hope, maybe I'm being too Pollyanna here, but I hope that some of that cognitive dissonance at Fox in their audience was broken there a little bit. That some people watching that were like, hey, maybe we shouldn't care about Hunter Biden because compared to the corruption and the grift and the nepotism of Trump and his spawn, it's nothing. You don't have to like Hunter Biden. You don't have to agree with his life choices, but to compare the two, to compare Hunter to Ivanka or Don Jr. or Eric or Jared, or even Laura Trump, all of whom got everything they have because of Daddy, there's no comparison. And so I hope you see more of this on Fox News. More recognition that Trump and his children used the White House to grift hundreds of millions, if not more. When you add up the whole family, they might have taken $1 billion of wealth from the American people using that prestige. If people on Fox are starting to hear it, maybe that news is going more mainstream.